And welcome to the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. We've got a good one for you today. We are going to be talking about one of the most exciting, most hyped events in NFT history. We have the Otherside Land Mint happening this weekend from Yuga Labs, the team behind Bored Ape Yacht Club, Mutant Ape Yacht Club, and Bored Ape Kennel Club. We'll be talking about ApeCoin, which is also going to be used in that mint. That's something Brian and I previously talked about last week and told everyone, hey, keep an eye on ApeCoin. So we'll take a dive back and also a look forward to see where Ape may be headed. So don't go anywhere, everyone. This is the Roadmap. All right, everyone. Yeah, as you heard me say, this is the Roadmap, Benzinga's NFT show. Before we get started with today's episode, want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, FTX US, which is one of the largest cryptocurrency exchanges in the world in terms of trading volume and daily users. The FTX app is used by over 6 million people to buy crypto and NFTs with no transaction or withdrawal fees. You can use your phone or your computer, and the FTX US trading platform offers NFT trading on both the Ethereum and Solana blockchains with no gas fees. To find out more about the FTX app, click on the link in the description below and also pinned right now to the chat. So again, make sure to check out FTX. Let them know, hey, Benzinga sent you. They love you. They talk about you. But yeah, feel free to set up an account if you have not already. And again, a big shout out to our friends from FTX for sponsoring today's episode. And as I said, we got a good one today. No interview, no guest today. We've had a lot of recent interviews, but today we wanted to take a step back. We wanted to get everyone caught up on some of the recent news, some of the recent headlines, and then also to talk about, this huge upcoming mint that is happening this weekend, involving Yuga Labs, the team behind Bored Ape Yacht Club. We, of course, are talking about Otherside. But before I get into that, we will start out with some news and headlines. And let me go ahead and bring on my co-host, Benzinga's own Brian Moir. Brian, what's going on, buddy?
Hola. Not too much, man. Excited to be back. Excited you're back. Excited we're back.
We're back. It's Wednesday. I can't believe I got that right. I don't know what day it is anymore. I was out of the office the past couple days. Took a little trip, which I'll share more about, of course, on Twitter and elsewhere. To let everyone know where I was, because it does relate to another Benzinga team member, which is pretty exciting. But we'll get into that at a different time. But anyways, Brian, we were like, hey, we got a lot of headlines to talk about. We got a lot of news to talk about. So instead of having a guest on today, we decided to go that route, which sometimes are, as you said, the most fun episodes, right? Where we can just kind of talk about everything. And also, our chat, again, if you guys are new to the stream, that chat is going to show up right on the screen during today's episode. So let's go ahead, everyone. Let us know you're here. Let us know you're watching live, and let us know where you're watching from. And we can keep an eye on that and shout out some of our, viewers during the live stream. And also a shout out to anyone who is watching this after we aired at 2 p.m. Eastern time or listening to us on the podcast. We appreciate you as well. Brian, to start out the week, one of the things we always like to do is kind of take a look back, right? And look at the top NFTs from last week. And normally I do an article on Benzinga every Sunday, but I was out this Sunday. So let's go ahead and take a look. Over the last 7 days, the number one NFT by sales volume, this shouldn't be a huge surprise, was, of course, Moonbirds, right? Which was the top one last week. $143.4 million in sales volume over the last 7 days, followed by Mutant Ape Yacht Club, Bored Ape Yacht Club, which were both up on the week. Then we had Artifact Monolith, 41.8 million. Bored Ape Kennel Club, 40.5 million, up 520%. So the dog's getting some love there. Followed by VeeFriends Series 2, which we'll talk about later on today's episode, $35.0 million. Followed by Akutar's Murakami Flowers, Clone X, and Meebits. Meebits were up 148% over the last 7 days. Also, a shout out here in 11th place, we have 8-Bit, which $20.2 million, up 7,469%. That is a huge, huge increase. Gonna have to do some digging on that one and see what's going on. But that is a big one there. And then also one that I wanted to shout out here that I recently did a little research on was a Solana project coming in at 13th place right now called OK Bears. So OK Bears is a new Solana project. I believe yesterday was the mint date. And it sold out. And let me go ahead and get this link shared here. So again, a Solana project.
I did not know about this project.
Yeah, I mean, and Brian, we talked recently, right? A couple episodes. Oh, it looks like Alyssa has found their Twitter. I did just drop some of the pictures because it looks like they are up on Magic Eden there. Yeah. So and Brian, these look kind of cool. They remind me, of some of these other Ethereum ones, right? And it looks like we have a floor price right now of 51.4 Sol, which last I checked, it's been a couple days, I think, since I have checked. Brian, do you know what Sol is trading at right now?
It's above 100, I believe. Last time I checked. Well, let's just take a look.
98.
Oh man, I was wrong.
I was gonna guess 100 too, so you're fine.
I know it did surpass it a few times this week.
51.42 times $98 is $5,039 is the floor price right now, which translated to ETH is only like 1.2 ETH. So that's really not that bad for, a top. Again, this is almost top 10 in sales volume, so it's obviously getting some love. Yeah, and shout out Alyssa. Yeah, Brian, what do you think of that? It does remind me a lot of kind of Bored Ape Yacht Club. The positioning of the bears on screen, the background colors, the fact that they have, a couple different traits each, but they look very clean, right? Like, especially like some of these where, maybe they just have sunglasses, a suit. But man, I am really liking these.
Yeah, there's another project called Steppin', and I meant to bring this up earlier, but it's on Sol, and I'm actually just finally got off the wait list, and I'm in the app, but it's kind of like there's another app that does this, but it's not on the blockchain that it counts your steps and you earn as active you are. If you go running or doing step counting and stuff, it'll count your steps and you earn tokens as you go. The more steps you make. But you have to have a sneaker NFT in order to start earning, because if you don't have one, then you're just doing it and you're not earning anything. But I think you retroactively earn all the ones that you did. Anyway, their floor price is like $1,000 or something like that, because it's like 11 it's 11 Sol to buy one. So these projects, they're not messing around. They have lots of volume, and Solana, I think, is soon going to be the next. You're going to see a lot more projects, and be very regularly that we see Solana projects break this top 10 in trade volume.
Yeah, definitely. And so Brian, you're going to have to fill us in more about Steppin'. I actually joined that wait list too. I'm not currently off of it. But that is an exciting project, and another one where it's got some utility, right? It rewards you. Mm-hmm. For actually, doing some walking, taking some steps.
Yeah, it's the number one trending token right now on CoinMarketCap, above 8.
Yeah, definitely. Well, Brian, I want to go back a sec to OK Bears. I want to play the guessing game, because since you said you hadn't heard of this project yet, I just heard about it today, back from vacation. So the floor price right now is 51.42 Sol. Brian, what do you think the mint cost was for OK Bears?
For if it's a Sol, 1 Sol or 0.5 Sol.
Okay, you were super close with your first guess. 1.5 Sol was the mint
combine
cost.
them.
Combine your two guesses, but
So
again,
$150 about.
1.5 Sol, and what is the floor price now? Over 50 Sol. So in 24 hours, you have made a killing on
Do
your
we have any more to mint?
No, they're sold out. It's sold out, Brian. We missed it. So now we got to chase if we want to
We
get
gotta
in.
start paying attention to these Sol projects.
I know. That's what I get for going on vacation. I mean,
Yep,
hey,
it's your
Brian,
fault.
I went on vacation, and yeah, we get OK Bears from Solana. We also got, I don't know if anyone heard this, but I heard that Twitter got acquired, right? Which
Yeah,
we'll
it's
talk about later on.
by some
So
nobody,
yeah, nothing exciting ever happens, right? When I go on vacation.
right?
Last time I went on vacation to Disney in January, Microsoft announced they were acquiring Activision, which was a huge deal in the video game space, which I generally write about as well. So, I mean, yeah, man, all the hate from Tom in the chat.
Yeah,
Tom,
go watch something else.
Tom, it sounds like you don't like NFTs, which is fine, to each their own. But
The show, it says
the-
huge NFT news.
The 2 p.m. to 3 p.m. time slot on Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Thursdays is dedicated to NFTs. So maybe if you just
can
want
watch
to
anything else. You don't
if
have
you
to
just
watch
want
the
to if you just
show.
want to go somewhere else and come back, we'll have more shows for you later. And
If
we
someone's
got
forcing you, let us know. I mean, we will help. We'll send help. If someone has a gun to your head and making you watch this, I promise we'll send help.
blink twice right now
Yeah.
if you're watching this against your will, and we'll send hope. We got Ruel in the chat. Ruel, of course, has a show here on Benzinga Monday nights talking about Cardano. I mean, Brian, it is getting harder and harder to track all these different NFTs. Like, that's one of my problems is, like, I know Ethereum so well, and that's really where my focus is. And then, ever since we had Solana Legend in, we got this, partnership with FTX. I started learning more and more about Solana NFTs, but we also got Cardano. I mean,
Avalanche.
we got Avalanche, right? With Krabata,
You were
the
about
play
to say
earn.
that, yeah.
We also got Flow, which is what Top Shot's based on. And
Flow's actually getting a lot more projects on
Yeah,
it,
they have
too.
some more projects coming up. So I mean, there's so many. Like, I'm gonna have to start making some more interactive charts and lists and dates to watch. I mean, it is just it's getting intense again. And I love diversifying myself, right? Having a diversified portfolio, but that also means you got to know all these different blockchains. So but all right, so that was the top 10. I was scrolling down a bit to see, and I mean, it looks like Doodles came in 15th place, up 80%. So that was another big winner there. CryptoPunks up 62%. But again, OK Bears in 13th place, a Solana project. And then Brian in 27th place was DeGod, which is another Solana project. That's one Legend talked about when he was on. And then Krabata, 28th place on Avalanche. And then 30th, Brian, you ready for it?
Shoot it.
NBA Top Shot. There's our mention. 30th place, on the Flow blockchain. So again, it's not all Ethereum, although Ethereum is, heavy there. But all right, what do we got next here on the list? That was our top 10 from last week. Dad Crypto Slam. All right, let's transition into Bored Ape Yacht Club and Yuga Labs. So Brian, one of the things we try to do on the show, right, is education. And I think this is a good education segment to talk about the hack that just happened. So I'm assuming you saw this, Brian, but just a horrific incident, right, where the verified Instagram account of Bored Ape Yacht Club got hacked, right? Someone got into it, and then they posed as Bored Ape or as Yuga Labs. They posted a link that said, "Hey, come mint land in the other side," which we're going to talk about the other side in a minute. But anyone who knew about this was like, "Hey, the other side is the land coming from Yuga Labs." But most people knew that this mint is not happening till April 30th. But however, anyone who thought, oh, maybe Yuga Labs is doing a surprise mint, an airdrop, something like that, you could click on the link and it asks to, link your wallet. And then unfortunately what happened was it started draining some of those wallets. So there's different reports out of how many Bored Apes, Mutant Apes, and Bored Ape Kennel Clubs were stolen, but it could have been up to 54 based on CoinDesk tracking some wallet transactions. It's likely some of those were actually just moved around to prevent the theft. A spokesperson from Yuga Labs said they estimated that it was 4 Bored Apes, 6 Mutant Apes, and 3 Bored Ape Kennel Clubs, which are around $3 million in value. $3 million, Brian, from a link on Instagram. And this is why, again, I don't want to, shame these people who lost their things because it's a devastating event. I just want to provide the education for people moving forward. So we've kind of gotten away from that surprise mints, right? Those were popular for a while. Where projects would do, a surprise mint where all of a sudden, they'd release the link and, everyone would go mint it right away. But those were usually from smaller projects, right? Your unestablished ones. Any of your big teams, your blue chip NFTs, they provide all these dates, all this information about how they're going to do things. And they don't do surprise drops, right? It's not in their nature. It's not good for them. You have these companies that are trying to, appease their community members. They're trying to raise more money. They're not going to do these surprises. And it's why it's important to know what links you're clicking on, right? To know when you're linking your wallet to something that it is legit. And in the NFT world, sometimes if something is too good to be true, it really is, right?
And that's what happens. And also invest in a ledger. Like it's maybe $100, but if you have something that's worth thousands of dollars, especially even if like a Bored Ape, invest in a ledger. I mean, this could literally save your entire life savings. This could protect your retirement fund. This could protect a lot of things. They're not that expensive and they're very, very valuable when it comes to something as important as your actual investments, your money. Get a ledger, get some sort of hardware wallet, get something that will protect it more than just a MetaMask.
Yeah, and it looks like there's the 4 Bored Apes there that were stolen. Again, this goes back to Discord too, right? Even though this wasn't Discord related, one of the things we always talk about with these teams when they come on, right, the founders, is like, how are you protecting your Discord? And a lot of times Discords can get hacked. People will pose as the founders. They'll post these links and it'll be like, hey, click on this link to go mint. And it's why it's important. And as I just said, with these Solana projects, Ethereum, it's important to know dates. That's something I want to provide going forward. We did that at the start of the month, Brian, where we talked about, 5 projects to watch in April. We told you what days they were minting. Those dates didn't change. Those were the dates. It's why it's important, set alerts in your calendar, right? Hey, this is the mint day. If something says it's minting and it's not on the mint day, it's probably not true. And you want to ask other people, right? You can, find the team on Twitter. You can find in
Look
Discord.
at the Twitter handle too. Just because it says Bored Ape Yacht Club or Yuga Labs, I just got tagged in one of those scams where they just tag a bunch of people and it says Yuga Labs has their logo, but if you look at the handle, it's some random string of numbers or like some other account that has nothing to do with it. So make sure you look at everything. Don't click anything that seems suspicious or too good to be true. I promise you, you did not win that raffle. You did not win a free Bored Ape. You did not win a member.
There's Alyssa sharing some that she was tagged in. So Brian, great call out, right? Because we saw with Moonbirds, right? When Moonbirds minted, that was the go-to, right? Was these scammers were posting
even if it's
as
a verified
Moonbirds.
account.
They were tagging, it was verified accounts. They were tagging people and it had a link, right? And Moonbirds had already sold out. So like if you knew it already sold out and you get a link saying, hey, come mint a Moonbird, those two things don't line up. Well, as we're going to talk about in a minute, we have the Otherside land minting this Saturday. So, Brian, today's Wednesday. The mint is Saturday. I'm going to guess between today and Saturday, I get tagged in a bunch more posts
Oh yeah.
of people posing as Yuga Labs. Guys, the mint for Otherside is not happening until Saturday. Any links that come before that, and maybe even some on Saturday, are not the right links. And here you have the official announcement from Otherside, which this Twitter account was shared by Yuga Labs. It is otherside.xyz. The mint is happening at noon Eastern time on Saturday. Please be careful with the links that you are clicking on. And please pay attention to this official Twitter account, Otherside, and also to the Yuga Labs, and also to the Bored Ape account. So
Yeah, and one
Brian,
thing
Brian, anything else
yeah,
on the hack before we get
yeah.
into the other side here?
So one way to also protect yourself that some people might not have thought about, or maybe you do this, if you think a link is suspicious, use a browser that doesn't have your MetaMask or any wallet connected to it. Go ahead and click on it using an incognito, a VPN. Make sure you have those connected. Click on it and check it out just to be sure. I mean, as long as you're using something that cannot connect to your wallet, a browser that doesn't have the extension on it, or using a private incognito window with the VPN and stuff like that, check it out. That's one way to also verify if it's true, but just don't click it at all. If you have to click it and you're worried about it, be protected and know what you're doing, because it's not worth $80,000 just to check it out and maybe think you won something. But just be very, very careful. Be cautious. There's tons of scams. Follow the verify account. If need be, DM the verify account, and you can always DM one of us. If you have a bunch of assets and you're worried about it, you can DM and ask us. We don't mind. We might not respond right away, but I'm just saying, just be very careful.
Yeah, definitely. And all right, well, Brian, let's get into more information here on Otherside. So again, this happened while I was on vacation. We got a tweet from Yuga Labs, and it said, "The adventure begins Otherside, 4:30, 12 p.m. Eastern time." So again, Saturday, April 30th. And they opened a Discord specifically for Otherside. And then they shared this long thread on Twitter the other day. So let's kind of break through and break down a little bit of what this thread here says. So the Otherside adventure will begin on 4:30 at 12 p.m. Eastern time, only on otherside.xyz. The KYC on somethingIsBrewing.xyz was to participate in the mint. So for anyone who doesn't know, KYC is Know Your Customer. And KYC is a very controversial topic in the world of NFTs, because a lot of people in NFTs are anonymous, right? You don't have your actual real name on your OpenSea account, on your wallet, anywhere out there, right? You're anonymous. People don't know who you are, or you have, a random, handle of, punk 20 whatever. And you don't want people to know your name. Well, what Yuga Labs did was they opened this website, and you had to say who you were. So you had to say your name, you had to fill in information on yourself. Well, it turns out, and as Ruel's saying in the chat, it turns out that what many suspected was that the KYC on that site was related to getting onto the list to be able to get Otherside land. So for anyone who filled out that information, you now are able to take part in this land sale. Okay, but there's a couple more steps to it, right? So let's break down ApeCoin, Brian. We talked about ApeCoin last week, and guess what? You can only mint Otherside land with ApeCoin. Isn't that what we said last week was going to happen?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And have you seen ApeCoin?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So let me refresh my page here. $19.71.
Someone said earlier it's going to be over 25, and I agree.
Save that thought, Brian. Save that thought. We'll get to ApeCoin future in a couple minutes. But just looking at it now, look at what it has done in the past week. And again, I would say that 80% of people thought, hey, Ape is going to be used for Otherside. There was still, probably 20% who said no, they're not going to use Ape. They're just going to use Ethereum. They've used Ethereum for all their other, mints. However, we got the official announcement that they're using Ape, and then Ape, sure enough, went up. And it's kind of as we said. So again, you have to use Ape in order to get this land. And Brian, it is going to be a Dutch auction.
Of course.
Of course, right? So, I mean, Bored Ape did a Dutch auction for mutant apes. We've seen a lot of these other big projects do Dutch auctions. So I guess that's not a huge surprise here. But that is for the public mint. So for anyone who already has a Bored Ape Yacht Club or a Mutant Ape Yacht Club, you are able to claim an NFT for 21 days after the auction. You also don't need to be KYC approved to claim your land if you own a Bored Ape and a mutant or a mutant ape. So Brian, what do you think of that? So if you already own a Bored Ape or a mutant ape, you do not have to KYC. But if you don't own one and you wanted to participate in the public mint, you needed to KYC and out yourself, your name, in order to get in. Do you think that's fair here, justified? What do you make of the difference here?
I think that I think it's not a bad thing because it's a way to prevent scam, not only just scams, but also people like bots and front running bots and stuff like that. I mean, there's a reason that they did it, and I think it's kind of beneficial because you don't have what I just said, you don't have a bunch of algorithms going towards it and buying it all up before everybody and racking up the price, because this is such a hot commodity that people are going to try to get around it. And, most everyone's sites would be on it if there wasn't this allow list, whitelist, KYC list kind of thing going on. So if they didn't have that, anybody and everybody would focus all their attention to that. They put all their money and they would just buy as much as they can. And you'd have a handful of wallets owning as much as possible. And then the price would get jacked up, then it would plummet once it all sold down. And it would just ruin the whole dynamic and economic system that they have built into it. So I think it's a pretty good idea. Yeah, well, it's not a good idea, but I think it's a helpful thing. I think there's I think it's beneficial.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, I think that's some great points. And, again, I think there was a lot of pushback when they announced this KYC, and a lot of people were like, wait a sec, like I've owned a Bored Ape from day one. I'm anonymous. And now you're telling me that I have to KYC myself just in order to get this land that like I've been anticipating all along. So I kind of like that they did that, right? They reward the people who are already there, and to anyone like myself or like you, that wants to get into the ecosystem now, if you provided your information, you now have a chance to. And again, it's a Dutch auction. We do not have a starting price announced yet. I've seen a lot of speculation on Twitter of what the price is going to be, but again, it's just a lot of speculation. But Brian, I mean, what do you think? Like, are you a buyer of, Otherside land immediately on Saturday? Do you think it's going to sell out whatever price they set it at? Do you think they're going to start the Dutch auction a little higher, to kind of see what they can get out of people? What do you think?
If I had the money that I think that it's going to be costing, I probably would buy Saturday regardless, because this is one of those projects that, just like ApeCoin, I mean, to me, it doesn't matter what price you buy in. Eventually down the road, not financial advice, but eventually it's going to outweigh the, you're going to get a good ROI on it. But I don't think, that being said, I don't think I'm going to even have, the liquidity to purchase one, because I think I'm going to be priced out almost immediately. I think that we're talking thousands of dollars. Yeah. If not, more than that, because it's going to go up. It's going to go fast.
And Brian, I can't even search Otherside on Twitter, because when I do, there are so many scam accounts already out there. And we're talking like promoted accounts where
Mm-hmm.
it's like, hey, we're happy to announce that this is live. Mint, click on this link. Some of them don't even try either. Like the links aren't
No,
even
yeah.
aren't even related. Like this one says like marketplacesale.shop. Like that has nothing to even
Mint
do
now.
with like I don't understand. Like now they're not even trying. So
No.
again,
You're gonna
guys,
get
the
what we
mint
got.
does
It's a
not
numbers
happen.
game.
And yeah, the mint does not happen until Saturday. Ruel asking, I wonder what the supply is going to look like. Have you heard any rumors? So the supply of Otherside land, I believe, is 200,000. It's a big number. But again, you have everyone who owns a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape getting one. And then you also have the public sale. I think you also have some partners, involved in this. I think they're going to hold some land. So yeah, I mean, there's lots of rumors out there, and the good thing is we're going to get more information over the next couple days prior to that mint. But yeah, I mean, Brian, I'm same boat as you, right? I want to be able to get this land on Saturday, but I think I might be priced out, but we'll see. But what do you think? So if you're someone who owns a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape, you got to claim Ape Coin for free, right? A lot of people sold their Ape Coin, right? Like right away to get some profits, right? Because say you held a Bored Ape for a while, it's gone up a shit ton in value, right? But you don't want to sell your Bored Ape. Well, then you got some Ape Coin. So maybe you sold your Ape Coin to get some profits finally. Brian, what do you do now if you own a Bored Ape or a Mutant Ape and you get this land? Do you think the majority of ape holders keep their land, or do you think some take their profit and get rid of it right away?
I mean, I guess it all depends on what the other side, what that is going to be, what that entails, like a couple months from now, a year from now. I mean, I guess it's subjective to if you need liquidity now or not, and what services, what is this project going to entail? Like, what are you getting out of it from holding land? That kind of stuff. So I guess we'll have to kind of see. I mean, if it was me, if I had an ape and all that stuff and I got the land, I would definitely try to hold on to it just for at least a little bit to see what is involved. Because I mean, I don't think we really know the full details of what really you're going to get from this.
No, and so here we have the trailer, and remember when we had Franklin on, he kind of broke down some of this too. So on this glass bottle, and you're gonna see in a minute, what picks him up is a coda, and codas have been part of the Yuga Labs ecosystem for a while, in discussion, but they haven't actually appeared yet outside of this trailer. Well, the rumor is that codas are going to be random based on people who have land. So there's a chance if you get land, you might get a coda. And I mean that rumor alone, like look at that coda, and there's some images out there too if you search for coda. But yeah, and you got that post too. What exactly is a coda? Well, that's the great unknown. Yuga Labs did a good job of making this a hype mint with also creating some surprise elements, right? I mean, Brian, there's been rumors that like the more rare your ape is, the better your land might be. Like our boy Franklin owns a golden fur ape.
It's like every ape ever.
Yeah, but he owns a golden fur ape. Maybe his land, he can make gold. I don't know. I mean, that's kind of out there, but maybe there's something to that. There's diamond grill apes, right? Maybe you get diamonds on your land. Again, there's tons of speculation. But one thing we know is that Yuga Labs has rewarded people who have owned Bored Apes. So to me, don't you think that the people that own a Bored Ape and get that land, that maybe that land's going to be more valuable than the people who get in on the public mint? Does that make sense, Brian? Like based on what we've already seen?
Yeah, I mean that's what a lot of other projects have done too in this kind of scenario. It's no one's really done exactly what they're doing, but in that kind of sense, like you hold like the better your odds are, or the more valuable secondary mint you get, kind of thing. So like I'm pretty sure with the mutant ape, your mutant ape was took the traits and qualities of your ape, and when you added the serum and got the mutant ape, you would get the reflection of your traits onto that ape. It wasn't just some random mutant. You actually got yours mutated into something with the same traits, just on the different side. So I would assume it has something to do with that, because they kind of changed the game with the ability to, your current contract can talk to the old contract and get those, and take your token ID and, and encode and do all that fancy stuff. I can break that down in a pragmatically for you, but that's kind of boring. So that's the easiest way to say it.
All right. Well, Brian, we started a little bit of a conversation on ApeCoin. So let's turn to Ape now, okay? And I just hit it refresh, and it dropped to 1960. Then it went back up to 1971. So again, we're trading right around where I just said a minute ago, 1971. That brings the market cap up to 5.6 billion, and a fully diluted market cap of 19.7 billion. Again, remember that the full supply of Ape has not been unlocked yet. Some
not
of it
even
is
close.
Still,
not even close.
It says 28% on Coin Market Cap right now for the circulating supply. So, Brian, one of the things I read was that the ape that is used to buy the Otherside land is going to be taken out of supply. So we have millions of ape that's going to disappear from the supply after the sale. So lowering the supply, Brian, what does that mean? And what effect could that have on ape going forward?
Okay, I think I got distracted by Chad Muska. Is this like the Chad Muska, like the skateboarder in our chat? But he's got 10K. He says gas will be around 7 to 10K in ETH, but that's a whole that kind of distracted me. So you're asking, what do you think that whenever we take that amount of ApeCoin out?
Yeah, so whatever ape is used to buy the land plots is going to go out of supply, is what they said. So walk us through what that means and what effect that could have on ape, based on the fact that right now the full circulating supply is not even unlocked.
So it pretty much it makes it almost hyper deflationary in a sense. It pretty much will just take down the circulating supply significantly and quickly, which will, I mean, that's going to greatly increase the actual price of a single ape coin. So I think we're going to see some really good price action movement when it comes to that. But in turn, that being said, when are we going to see the rest of the supply circulate into it? Like, because I would imagine with the other side, they're gonna push a lot more of the supply. I gotta look back at the roadmap. I haven't seen the roadmap of ApeCoin, but I think it'd probably be mentioned in that. But I think what they might be doing is injecting a lot more ApeCoin into the other side for liquidity purposes, and that's how we're gonna see the reward factors come in for owning, staking, doing different things with your plots of land and mining with it. So I don't know if it actually will have, I think it'll have a significant impact at the price point, the moment minting starts, between up until the point to where we see more ApeCoin being injected into the ecosystem, and then it'll kind of level back out. But I think we'll see a pretty big increase in price. Yeah. That's my take on it, at least.
Yeah, and I go back to what Brian just said a minute ago. Chad Muska, is this really the Chad Muska?
Because if you're the real Chad Muska, I got Tony Hawk 2 on my Switch right now, and
yeah,
I'm just
so
saying,
I guess
you with the backpack.
I guess what blink twice if you're the real Chad Muska. We can't see you, but let us know. But yeah, and throwing out 300 to 500 ape for a plot of land. So Brian, I've seen estimates around 600 ape. So ape right now is 1971 times 600 would be $11,826. I feel like that's high. I don't know though, because the supply is there, or the demand is there, right? People are going to pay whatever they set this price at, I think. I mean, look at what just happened with Moonbirds, right? Moonbirds had this high mint cost, and a small portion of people balked at it, right? And said, hey, that mint price is
too much,
too high,
too much,
right? And then look at it.
Look at it.
That's what happened. So I think, and Mr. Muska, again, if that's really you, is saying there's going to be a gas war. ETH is going to be.
I think. Well, first off,
not the real Chad Muska. We did get confirmation, Brian.
Yeah.
Not the real.
Then get out. We don't even want to talk to you.
All right,
Just
so
kidding.
we don't have a celebrity here after all, but we do
so
like
the
name.
gas thing, the new EIP, all that stuff that does prevent and take down these gas prices. Yeah. And I'm pretty sure that Yuga Labs, being probably the most well-known and biggest NFT smart contract developing, agency there is, or platform, or whatever you want to call them, they are boutique lab. They probably have a ways to inject into the smart contract ways to protect against these gas wars, because you got to think about it too. If they're just paying an ape, then they can also use some of that ape for gas, not just on Ethereum, but they can level it out by putting the fees. There's ways to do that. It's really complicated, but there are ways to do that. You still have to pay ETH no matter what, but there's ways to lower the gas fees. And I don't think that's going to be as big of a problem as you would tend to believe, because gas has drastically dropped, even though that there's maybe the use cases, but the way the fee protocol goes and the reward system goes for mining and for confirming transactions by other nodes and stuff, that has drastically dropped. So I don't think it's going to be as big of a problem as people may think. I think that it might go up a little bit because there's going to be a lot of action going on right there. But I don't think it's going to be in the $10,000 range. I mean, I guess it depends on how many transactions you're trying to confirm, but I think that's a little much. I don't think it's going to be that big of a worry. I could be wrong, though. We don't know yet.
Yeah, and I mean, we will find out on Saturday. And with that being said, I mean, so Brian, let's take one more stab at ape here before we move on. So let's say everyone needs somewhere between 200 and 600 ape to buy a plot of land. That's a lot of ape. And also the supply of ape that's used is going out of the supply. Right now, ape is $19.71. Again, not financial advice, but just throwing out some projections. I mean, Brian, I got to think that by Saturday, I think whoever said it at the start of the chat, the $25 for ape, I feel like that's kind of a good figure. I don't want to guess too high, right? I don't want to say ape's going to hit $100 because I don't think it's going to hit $100 this weekend. But I feel like 25 is realistic based on those two elements. Well, what's kind of your range for ape here going into Saturday?
Well, I think that 23 to 25 is pretty spot on.
Now, do you think after the land mint, so again, we're going to see supply drop, but we also may see demand drop. Do you think that after Saturday we see a bit of a correction in ape? Maybe it falls down from 19 today? Or do you think it can sustain those levels because it's shown that it's going to be valuable in the ecosystem moving forward? And also people who own a Bored Ape or Mutant Ape, might have to have ape to claim as well, and they have longer to get their land. What do you think happens after Saturday?
So I think we're seeing, I think we're going to see steady kind of path. So I think we'll stay around that 19 to 25 range for a while. But like we talked about earlier, we could see a higher high than that 25 because, we're taking a bunch of ape out of circulation and it's going to be gone in out of the total circulating supply. And we don't even have, the total supply out yet. So it's a very small percentage that's in the actual total circulating supply that's going to get burned now because of the land sale. And so that's going to drastically raise the price. Now, whenever it goes that happens after Saturday, and we have a little bit more of a correction, and we see like the numbers kind of balance themselves back out, we're going to see a little bit of a decrease in price. But I don't think it's going to be substantial enough to go, anywhere below where it was at the start when we were at that $7-12 range. I think we'll stick in the high teens to 20s. I'm like a weather forecaster, but we'll stick to that like 19-20 range. I think that's a good. I think we're at like, in my opinion, not financial advice, but I think we're closer to the bottom in the terms of the next year progress. I think we're at the bottom right now. I think that we're just going to keep on seeing it going to trickle on up, and we're going to see this ape token in the hundreds, 200s as soon as next year. I mean, if we see more projects from Yuga Labs come out, which inevitably we will, especially with the Coinbase, the movie, and all that stuff. ApeCoin, way to go.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, that's what we said. Again, not financial advice, but just a reminder to throw it out there. Brian and I both said you should probably get into ApeCoin last week, and I mean, look what happened. So we're giving you another entry point here to keep an eye on. Again, not advice, just our personal thoughts. But we're gonna see Ape definitely be trending over this weekend. So let us know, guys, in the chat what price you think Ape will hit on Saturday, and also if it will fall after that. But Brian, let's move on. That was a lot on Otherside, Bored Ape, and Ape Token. As I mentioned, we did get huge acquisition news, right? That Elon Musk is acquiring Twitter. So we did see a lot of positive comments from people, CEOs, but we've also seen a lot of backlash from people, right? Saying they're going to leave the platform, all that. But a couple of the focuses that Elon Musk said was that he wanted to cut down on crypto scams on the platform, right? People posting links, pretending to be celebrities, saying, Brian, the greatest deal in the history of mankind, right? If you send me 0.5 Bitcoin, I will send you 1 Bitcoin back. Why?
Yeah, I made millions doing
because
that.
I'm dumb and I want to cut my money in half. I don't understand, guys. Please don't fall for that.
Don't do it.
Again, if it's too good to be true, it is.
It's gonna be.
But turning to NFTs, Brian, we saw Twitter integrate NFTs into profile pictures, right? Where you can, have a hexagon with a verified, and that's something that Musk previously said was stupid. Right? He called it out. He said, why are we worried about this, Twitter? This is dumb. And Musk has been very kind of anti-NFT. So do you think anything changes with NFTs on Twitter with Musk behind the company now? Are people going to lose their hexagons?
No, they're not going to lose their hexagons. And the thing, so I brought this up. We had an internal little meeting about Twitter Spaces today for the Benzinga. And I brought this up, and a good thing to think about is Jack Dorsey is still doing the project for a decentralized social media, and Elon Musk is all about that free speech and stuff. And so there's a lot of people that are kind of scared of what's going to happen to Twitter once Elon Musk is in charge. But also think about how Jack Dorsey is still working on the decentralized version of social media in general. And we have Jack Dorsey, who's a Bitcoin maxi, doesn't really like Ethereum, but really big in decentralization and all that kind of stuff. And but Elon Musk, you have that thing about your data. You don't really know where it's going and all this kinds of things. I don't think we're going to have to really worry about NFTs or anything like that in particular when we have Elon Musk takes on full ownership in the next 6 months or so, because we still have the board of directors and everything that, everything has to go through certain levels to get changed. That being said, I don't know what it's really going to look like for NFTs or crypto or blockchain talk in general, but I think it's going to be more of a positive thing because we're giving more free speech to these things in social media. That's not really my view on politics or my view on what's good, what's right, or what's wrong. That is just my view on what I think is going to happen. I think it's going to benefit some of these communities. That being said, I don't know what's really going to happen to do these anonymous NFT projects like we talked about earlier with Bored Ape Yacht Club making the KYC. I don't know if this means that more people like are gonna have to know the identities of someone that's on Twitter now and stuff like that. There's a lot of things up in the air. I think that some of them are positive. I think some of them are negative, but we really don't know until we see some of these changes happen or see some of these things proposed. I mean, it's all subjective. Just a
Yeah.
lot to really take in.
I mean, and we could talk more about Musk in the future. I mean, there's so much to that. And again, the other point here is that like he is acquiring the company for $44 billion, but the deal hasn't gone through yet. There is still, the potential that it faces some
They
roadblocks.
just accepted the deal. So
Yeah.
it's
So I mean, there's a
a lot of things
chance.
that works.
Yeah, there's a chance, that it doesn't go through and all that, but I think Elon Musk is going to be good for crypto. And NFTs, I don't necessarily see him being necessarily good for,
Just a
but
neutral.
I don't think it's a negative. I don't think people
Yeah.
are going to lose their hexagons, right? Per se. So, all right, well, let's move on. VeeFriends Series 2 mint happened on
Ooh,
Monday. This is one we
talk
talked
about it.
about last week. So this is a 55,000 supply. So a lot of this supply was for people who already owned a VeeFriend Series 1, or they got on a friends list. The public mint was only for 10,000 NFTs. And rather than do a huge gas war, they decided to do a raffle, right? Which is what we saw Moonbirds also do. So I entered this raffle, and I can say, full disclosure, I was fortunate enough to win the raffle.
He was tagged in a Twitter post, and he actually clicked the link, and he won.
So I got the chance to buy a VeeFriends Series 2. The mint cost was 0.335 plus gas. And the floor price pre-reveal was over 1 ETH, and now post-reveal we're sitting at
floor price.
We're sitting at 0.75, so over double what people paid to mint.
You're seeing this here right now. That's a good price. I'm just saying, not financial advice, but for VeeFriends, anything Gary V touches,
yes,
under 1 ETH. Oh, I don't even have 0.75 liquid right now. But
yeah,
if
and
I did,
there's Series 1, a floor price of 10. Of course, VeeFriends Series 1 comes with a little bit more utility. You got a free VeeFriends Series 2. You get access to VCon, all kinds of other things. But remember, VeeFriends Series 2, this artwork is a lot better than Series 1. I think Gary could even admit that. But again, I would not bet against Gary V in this space, and I haven't. I am holding my VeeFriends Series 2, right? I
wish I could do
it.
a good Gary V impression.
There is my honest honey bee VeeFriends Series 2, Brian. What do you think?
I like it. I mean, anything, like I said, I wish I could do a Gary V impression because he's one of my favorite people. I mean, sometimes I don't agree with him all the time, but oh my gosh, I love the guy. I love what he's doing. I've been following him for years, and I love that he's in the same space I am. And Gary V, right now, we're asking you for just 5 minutes of your time, hop on a Twitter space with us, come on the YouTube, our channel. Anything that we have to do to get Gary V on this show or on a Twitter space with us, we will do. Just make this go viral. Let's make this happen. Get him know. Put this video in front of Gary V. We love you. We love the V2 friends. V2 artwork much better than V1. Still love you, but just gonna say it. But let's make this happen, my man.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. This artwork. One of the things that I got to do along with the mint was that I think I'm getting some playing cards.
That's pretty cool.
Mailed to my house again.
Did he do the Uno thing, or was it just regular?
He did the Uno thing before.
Okay, yeah.
So now there's another launch here along with Series 2, and I mean, yeah, guys, the floor price is 0.75. I think that's a great entry point. Again, full disclosure, I own one of these, but full disclosure, mine is not listed for sale, and I don't intend to sell it. Because I'm happy to have it. I'm happy I won in that raffle, and I'm happy to be following the VeeFriends ecosystem going forward.
This is one of the ones that I think that like I would have, and it's not going to be for sale. Like, okay, if it goes to like $2 million, of course. But it's one of those like I want to keep just because it's one of those things that you want to have. It's like it's going to appreciate in value, but it's not something that you even look at for a monetary aspect. You look at it because for me, he's like one of my idols. I love what he does. I love what he has, and everything that the NFT means as a whole is so much more value than the monetary price attached to it. So I have a few NFTs in my Ledger wallet that I feel the same way. They're not, maybe not very valuable, or some of them are, but they're not really things that you're going to sell, that kind of thing.
Brian,
so I see what you mean.
Brian, I will undercut you. You said if this goes to $2 million, you might sell it.
100. Trust me, I'm way before that.
If VeeFriends Series 2 goes to $1 million, I will sell.
I'm even at like if we're at the Mutant Ape or Bored Ape prices right now, yeah, I'm selling. Yeah. Don't take my price as my actual price. Yeah. I'm just saying.
So that's not my target price, but at $1 million, I would be exiting, and it's nothing against Gary Vee, but that would be because
he would punch you in the face if he knew you didn't.
Yeah. So again, everyone has a different financial situation, has a different family, all that. So, well, Brian, I think that almost does it for our news. The last thing I saw was that the NFL released virtual tickets related to the NFL draft, which is going to happen tomorrow. So for those who didn't know, last year, Ticketmaster and the NFL teamed up, and they did these first NFTs, and they were like virtual tickets. And the first ones were sold for,
I love these. These are
I
my
think
favorite.
$26, and I was able to get some of them. I sold some for hundreds of dollars. I still own some. But now we have ones related to the draft. They are $52 each. I looked today, and last I looked, there were still some available, believe it or not. So again, these are related to the NFL draft. I don't know if I should drop the link, because then people are going to start buying these, Brian, before I buy them.
Don't they'll find it. Hey guys, don't worry about this yet. We'll get you.
Yeah. We'll get you. So yeah, check out the NFL draft NFTs. With that being said about NFL, we're out of time here, Brian. But I know something that you wanted to do was you wanted to watch me open a pack from NFL All Day from tomorrow. Dapper Labs. So Brian, since you're the one who wanted to do it, I'll ask you: do you want to do a standard pack? Right, that's pretty exciting. A Pro Bowl pack, a Super Bowl pack, or a historical pack that could have a former NFL player like Brett Favre.
This is for my boy Ryan Falona, which you can check out his YouTube show on Benzinga in the morning.
Fan on my stream.
Well, hold on. I was gonna say all hail whenever you did the historical pack. Let's bust out that historical pack. We can do it today or tomorrow. I'm just saying. But all hail. That's my boy Ryan Faluna, where you can check out his their show. I forgot what it's called.
Live trading.
Live trading. Yeah, I was gonna say
9 a.m. Eastern time, Monday through Thursday. Right, Ryan.
I was going to say stocks to watch,
and Money Mitch and Zunaid, a great show, and occasionally Spencer. I know Spencer.
And Thursdays at 1 p.m. Eastern, they have the him and Zunaid, Ryan and Zunaid have their Twitter space stocks to watch. 11. Is it 11? Is it 1 or 11?
I think it's 1 o'clock.
1 o'clock.
1 o'clock. Dang, I messed that up. But see, Ryan, I tried to get you in all hell, and it all breaks loose. Hell breaks loose.
All right. In the background right now, I'm getting my pack to load. I do remember this, that the NFL ones are a little bit different than the NBA ones, where you can like open them instantly. The NFL ones, you have to like confirm that you want to open it, and then it has to like complete a transaction almost. So it's currently trying to open. So Brian, I'll let you know in a minute. But yeah, I mean, these historical packs, I think there's 4 moments inside, and yeah, you got former NFL players. Everyone was trying to get the legendary Brett Favre. I mean, I'm a Lions fan, but I have the ultimate respect for Brett Favre. He was a great player. I hated playing against him. You know, the Lions playing against the Packers twice a year, and then even when he played for the Vikings. But all right, it looks like our pack is ready to go. So now I got to make sure we can get this. All right, so all right. Let's see. Can you guys see this? Can you see my pack, Brian?
Yes. Yep.
Yes.
And Alyssa. All right. Here we go. Let's try. Let's see what happens here. Open pack.
Let's go. Oh, snap.
Okay, we got 4. I don't know if there's a difference. I don't know if
No, just do it. Just do it. Oh my gosh, the anticipation.
All right, reveal. Why is it not loading? Play.
Boom.
Reggie White.
Boom, Reggie White.
5.
Ooh, burr, 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 burr.
All right, let's watch this. I remember Reggie White. I bet he gets through to the quarterback.
Oh, got
Boom.
him. Got him. Oh my
Reggie White with the sack. Look at that tackle trying to guard him, and he like ends up pulling down.
Nothing.
Like you can't stop him. Man, he was a beast. All right, so that is out of 4,000.
Reggie White's a UT boy.
Yeah, that is a common. What else we got in here? Let's see if we can get some rares now. Another common. Terrell Davis. That takes me back. I remember watching Terrell Davis in a couple Super Bowls. Look at, I was like, is he going to get down before the end zone? I was like, is that really going to be the moment here? How about this, Brian? Can't bring him down. All right, what else we got here in this pack?
Ryan said I interrupted his pepperoni talk in Slack. So you know what? Don't check out his
Chris
YouTube
Carter
channel.
Against the Lions.
Oh, but look at that catch.
That was a good catch. Chris Carter was a legend too. So all right, I think that's another common though. Man, so 3 commons so far.
Oh, here it is. Here it is.
Championship year. It's a rookie year. That Reggie White was a rookie.
Ooh, that might be a good one.
All right, what do we got?
Reggie White went to Tennessee, by the way.
What do we got as the last one here? Another common.
Oh, hell.
All right. Oh, fumble.
Yo, Fumblerooski.
All right, so we got Derek Brooks. Oh, that one. Oh, okay, so the Reggie White is out of 4,000. The other 3 are out of 9,000.
Ooh, so
even though the Reggie White is not a rare, it is a lower unit. So what do you think of my pack there?
I like that Reggie White one.
I do too.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It was good. Yeah, but so since Ryan said that I interrupted his pepperoni talk, maybe check out Stocks to Watch on Twitter and live trading on YouTube if you want. He was a jerk. I was trying to be nice, but actually check it out. It's good. They're awesome. It's one of our best YouTube shows besides the roadmap. You'll love it. Live trading.
It's not quite as good as this show, but it's getting close.
But hey, do a free trial, pro.benzinga.com. Get a free trial, free 2 weeks. No credit card required. Try it out. Check out the live trading during the weekdays at 9 a.m. You can watch it, live trade with them for free for 2 weeks. It's pointless. It's pointless if you don't get it. You need to get it. It's free. Try it out. Make enough money to get a mutant. Make enough money to get a VeeFriends.
Ooh, there you
go. Be like us, son. Do it up. And we have crypto news. You can do NFT and crypto news in Benzinga Pro for free. What are you doing here? Go right now. Do it. Go. Run.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us today. If you want to see us open more packs, I got more NFL packs. I got NBA packs. You got to come check out the roadmap Tuesdays, Wednesdays, Thursdays, 2 p.m. Eastern time. Let me know. Hit us up at Benzinga on Twitter, or you can reach out to me right there on screen at Chris Katje. Let me know. I love opening these packs, and I know Brian does too, but I want to make sure we have people watching, right? It's not as much fun to open a pack with a couple people. I want as many people here as possible. So let us know. And we have a show tomorrow, Brian. Maybe we should open some more packs tomorrow. So
if you come, you guys got to be here.
Yeah, you got to be here. And you got to smash that like on your way out.
Smash it.
We will see everyone tomorrow. Take care and have